Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about a foreign judgment. No, I'm not talking about a judgment from overseas. I'm not talking about a judgment from someone who is from overseas. I'm talking about from state to state. That is what it's called. It's called a foreign judgment. This is where one state sends over a judgment that was placed in another state, and the state where the individual is living, and then they will end up, trying to collect on that debt. I'm going to tell you the problems that are with it, how to fight it. This is something that happened to me, and if I would have knew what to do at that time, this was way before the credit repair shop. I would have been able to win, but sometimes you live and learn. And by me going through that full experience, I know how it feels. Like some of the times when you listen to people on their videos and stuff, you're like thinking in the back of your mind, man, this person, they don't know what I'm going through, how this feels, the frustration, the anxiety, all of that stuff, the buildup, the fear, the worry, all of that. I know what it felt like. Mine was over $100,000, and I had to work my way through that at that time. And so, a foreign judgment. This is the way that I see debt collectors pulling this stunt to get people. I see this happen a lot with business clients. So suppose I'm just going to read off of this website here. It was Van Attorneys, so we want to give them credit for their website. It says here, suppose you have a judgment against the debtor, and the debtor either leaves the state or owns property in another state. How can you collect on your judgment? The answer is to this question lies in the basic understanding of how foreign judgments operate. Generally, a foreign judgment is one that is rendered in another state or country. Well, I guess so. They do say country. That is judicially. Yeah, there was one student loan from what's the country that's always neutral? It's escaping my mind right now, but there was a gentleman who contacted us about a judgment, and it might have been Sweden. And because he went to school and the loan was originated from that area, and they did a foreign judgment. Okay, so a country that is judicially distinct from the state where a collection of the judgment is sought. Before a foreign judgment can be enforced, certain requirements must be met. And I'm going to tell you that some of this stuff is very gray area because of what happened to me. Most states adopt the Uniform Enforcement of Foreign Judgments Act. Let me push this down here. Which allows judgments of one state to be enforced in another state based on the constitutional requirement that full faith and credit will be given to judgments rendered by other states. Before a judgment of one state may be enforced in another state, however, the judgment creditor, the person whose favor a judgment is entered, must file a new lawsuit in the state to domesticate the foreign judgment. What this means is that that a creditor has to register his out-of-state judgment in the new state in order to enforce the judgment under the laws of the new state. I'm going to stop real quick right there. This is where the gray area is. What happened to me, this is what happened to me. And at that time, I did use an attorney, and that attorney didn't even have an answer for it. Was number one, I did not live in the state that the judgment was rendered. It was in California. Never lived in California. Never had any connection to the state of California, either business wise or personal. And this was actually a business debt that this happened with. And then they ended up getting a judgment in California, and then they did a foreign judgment over to the state of Wisconsin. But the crazy thing about it is that I was never given the opportunity to go to court on it, that they just basically accepted the foreign judgment and entered it, and the fighting began right there. I did not have where they had to file a totally new lawsuit and go through all the regular stuff that you have to go through when you file a lawsuit. So moving forward, generally, the creditor must initiate a new lawsuit. That's why they said generally. Some states it varies. Must initiate a new lawsuit after paying the required filing fee in the district or county where the debtor now resides or owns real property. The lawsuit includes a complaint seeking enforcement of a foreign judgment and gives notice to the debtor that he may contest the enforcement of the judgment. This is a part that I was not given the right to do. Attach the complaint is a certified or exemplified copy of the out-of-state judgment. Usually you will need to obtain several certified or exemplified copies of the judgment in order to file the action. Certified or exemplified copies um, of the judgment can be obtained from the clerk of court. This is what they're telling them. Additionally, you may be required to file an affidavit stating that the judgment is final and that the judgment is either wholly or partially unsatisfied. You may also need to provide the exact amount due, including court costs, interest, and originating states rates. Usually, the clerk of court can provide you with information on exactly what to do in order to register a foreign judgment with the court. How may a foreign judgment be attacked? Generally, an out-of-state judgment may be attacked by the debtor for lack of personal or subject matter jurisdiction, which is what happened with me. Improper service in the originating state, fraud in the procurement of the judgment, which also happened to me because this was a business debt that I didn't even have any part of, and because enforcement of the judgment would violate the public policy of the state where enforcement of the judgment is sought. Under these defenses, the debtor is arguing either that the judgment was improperly rendered in the first place or therefore should not be registered in the new state, or that the new state should not recognize the judgment because it violates public policy. So, uh, so this is what, if you ever had this happen, and this is happening to a lot of business clients, where I see this happen a lot is with business clients where they do, and with what happened with me was a business, was I was involved with a business, but I did not personally sign for the debt that was taken out for that business. I just, my name was attached to the business, and because I guess they couldn't find anyone else, they ended up coming after me, and they did the foreign judgment in California without notifying me, without even giving me the opportunity to even go to California. They just did it there, and then they did a foreign judgment over to Wisconsin. And by the time uh, I was able to, start to do anything about it, it was the judge said it was too late, and I did contact an attorney, and the attorney said it was too late. I do not think that I was given the opportunity for them to initiate a new lawsuit, which is what was stated in here. The creditor did not have to file a new lawsuit in my state. It might be different in other states, and I was never properly certified, properly served. Also, so if you find yourself in this situation, I just got off the phone with an individual about this. That's what made me want to make this video. Is that first, if you have a judgment that was sent to you from another state, it is your right to be served at your convenience, which is the whole lawsuit, everything has to go at your convenience. This is one of the things that is written into the laws to benefit the person who is being sued. Uh, a lot of other things are against you, but that is one thing that is in your favor. They have to bring the lawsuit in your area, so you can get it totally dismissed if they're just now doing a lawsuit, and they somehow you found out about it, you got served, but they're doing it in another state. You can just simply contact clerk of courts in that state, say that you do not live in that state and that it's improper service. Next thing is, if they did get away with doing it and you have the judgment against you, then the next thing you need to do is you need to uh, in your area, make them have to initiate the new lawsuit, You need to find the laws in your state. There's either they have to initiate it, or you're going to just be able to start right from where it's at and fight against that lawsuit being enforced as a foreign judgment. And then you'll be able to kind of move forward from there. It does vary in each state, so you're going to have to make sure that you follow the laws in your state. All right, so to close out this video, I want to talk about a few things that I'm starting to see with people. I'm going to also make a separate video on it, but I want to put it at the end of this video too, because I'm starting to see a lot of people getting frustrated. I'm starting to see a lot of people, once again, economy is in a little bit of a downturn. People are having a hard time with inflation. Prices are up. A lot of stuff is up. Things are happening, but people are not. Uh, they're starting to worry. They're starting to have anxiety. They're not looking at solutions. You're going to see a lot of politicians. You're going to see a lot of people trying to tell you that the solution is with the government. The solution is not 100% with the government. The government can do certain things, but we as people have to control our own minds, and we have to control our own creativity. Your creativity is what's going to get you out of your financial situation, not someone else. That's why we are all individuals. That's why you have certain people during certain times doing really well, and you have other people that are not doing good. And you look at them and you say there's really no difference between them. It's just that one person has a different mindset over another. You got to take control of your mindset and stop allowing other people to tell you what you can and can't do. And just because things are not going right for you right now does not mean that it will continue going, in the wrong direction. You can change that over, but the first place that you change it is in your mind, in your thought process, in the things that you do. I know that it's tough. I know that it's difficult, but you have to do it. You have to, buckle down, and you have to say, I'm going to think this way every day until it just becomes a habit. You just have to do it. I just wanted to get that out there because I see a lot of people. I see comments. I see people frustrated. I see people scared, worrying, all types of stuff. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my two-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, please go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports. If you have debt collectors coming after you, please grab my 3-pack of letters, statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, cease and desist collection activities letter, and please make a donation to that. That's how one way that I monetize my time for bringing you this important information on the channel. Thank you for your time.